Hi everyone, Liz from Tutor2 here. I'm joined this evening by Laura and Charlotte, and we are doing our NCFE T-Level Health Paper A exam warm-up, ready for your exam tomorrow. I can see some of your comments in the chat. Ryan saying he doesn't want to hear the phrase SOPs for at least 10 weeks. Ryan, we might talk about SOPs in our exam warm-up. I'm not sure, can't really remember. Sorry if I stress you out with that. Reggie says they're already fed up. Guys, you've done amazing. You're nearly there. This is the home straight now. So we've got loads to get through, so I think we'll just launch straight in. So we are going to broadly follow the 4 sections of your exam paper. So our first few activities are about working in the healthcare sector. So over to you, Laura, for the first one.
Okie dokie, guys. We are going to first identify the correct answers, and there can be any number of correct answers. Okay, so question at the top in the yellow band. Which of these is a purpose of an equality, diversity and inclusion policy? So A, B, C and D, which of those are correct? Now remember, it can be as many as 4 or as little as 1. Pop your answers in the chat for me.
Okay, Ryan's saying B and C. Love in Shoju is saying B and C. Everyone's saying B and C, Laura. Shall we see?
Fantastic.
Really quick answers there.
Well done, guys. Yes, so the purpose of equality, diversity and inclusion policy is to promote social inclusion and prevent prejudice and discrimination. So if we look at A and D, they're incorrect because they belong to different policies that I'm not going to reveal just yet.
Okay, fantastic. So next one of these, please, Laura.
Okay, guys, you know what you're doing now, so pop your answers in the chat. I'm going to read it out for you. So which of these is the purpose of performance reviews? So A, B, C and D, which of those are correct statements about the purpose of performance reviews?
Okay, we've got lots of people saying A, some people saying A and D. Yep, lots of A's and D's, Laura. Shall we have a look?
Oh, fantastic. We're on fire, guys. Well done. Absolutely. So the purpose of them is to evaluate work performance against standards and expectations, and also they provide opportunities to raise concerns or issues. Well done.
Absolutely brilliant. Okay. Third one of these, please, Laura.
Okay, so why is it important then to adhere to quality standards, quality management, and audit processes? Now, which of those is correct?
I think this one's a bit harder, isn't it?
Bit more reading to do.
Okay, we've got various people saying B and C, some people saying B, C, and D. Let's just wait for a few more to come through. So we seem very confident on B and then possibly C and D. Shall I reveal, Laura?
Please do. Okay, they're actually all correct. Okay, so it is important to adhere to them because they allow for objective reviews or inquiries into failures. They ensure consistency of practice, facilitate continuous improvement, and also to maintain health and safety.
Okay, fabulous. Well done, everyone.
Yeah.
And
Last
number
one.
4.
Perfect. Okay, guys. So, why should professional codes of conduct be followed then? A, B, C, or D, which are correct?
Bit more reading again. Okay, Izzy is saying C and D. Angel is saying A and B. Leah saying B, C, and D. Aaliyah saying C and D. Good Diamond says A, B, C, and D. And so does Lana and Lola. Shall we have a look?
Yes. Fantastic, guys. So it's in fact all of them. Okay, so professional codes of practice should be followed to promote confidence in the organisation so that rules and responsibilities are fulfilled, to meet organisational expectations for behaviour, and to meet expected standards of performance. Well done.
Fantastic. I think everyone's been doing some excellent revision, so maybe give yourselves a bit of a pat on the back for that one, guys. Okay, over to Charlotte now for a slightly different activity.
So this time we are going to have 30 seconds on the clock to give me 4 characteristics of primary care. So just in the chat, 1 characteristic of primary care. If you can manage 4, then amazing.
Okay, let's
So
go.
off you go.
Some great answers coming through already. Well done, Becca, giving us 4. So is Izzy. So is Leah. April. Khadija. Good Diamonds again. Okay, I'll just read out a couple, Charlotte. So we've got first point of contact, general care, referral to other services, can walk in or book an appointment, general, no specialisation, acute problems, can refer to specialists, people saying GPs, oh, that's gone now already, community care, referral to secondary care. Sound like good answers to me. Shall I reveal ours?
Let's have a look at what we've got. So, yeah, we do indeed have first point of contact, which I think a lot of people gave us an answer. Access directly, there's no need for referral, you can self-refer, provides general care for minor injuries and illnesses and deals with acute onset conditions and refers on to specialist secondary care. So some of you there have given us examples. So well done for the examples, but remember, an example is not just the characteristic of it.
Okay. Excellent work, though, guys. Well done.
Yeah, well done.
Okay, back to Laura for this one.
Okay, guys, so this time we've got a match-up activity. Now, there is a little bit of writing on this one, so I'm going to go quiet as soon as I introduce it so I don't distract you. So you're going to look for matching each service to its explanation. Now, what we're looking for in the chat is for you to just give the letter with its matching number rather than try and write it out. but we're going to give you 60 seconds for this one because it takes a little bit longer. Off you go.
I'm going to try and do it as well.
So just the letter and the matching number, guys. Time's nearly up.
Okay, I'm desperately trying to see someone that's got all of them correct. Let's have a look at, because I've just favorited it, Ryan's answer. So Ryan says D1, so hospice care is a tertiary service for end-of-life care, can be delivered in the home. A2, so outpatients, for example, cardiology outpatient clinic is a hospital clinic or associated facility for diagnosis, monitoring or treatment without an overnight stay. Sounds like you're onto a good one here, Ryan. C3, social care service, e.g. adult social care, support provided to people who need help with personal care, protection or social support. Yep. B5, inpatients, e.g. surgical orthopaedic ward, is a ward in a hospital often specialised for overnight monitoring and treatment. Fabulous, which means that E is for tertiary service for long-term care or respite for families. Amazing. Let me reveal.
Well done.
Oh, there we go. So I think lots of people got it right, didn't they? But that was just the person that I happened to click on at the time. Lovely emojis there from Ryan. Disco ball. Okay, let's move on so we can try and get through everything. Over to you, Charlotte.
Okay, so I like this one. Such a seasoning. So we're thinking about such as and how we're going to answer the question with an example. So there are many ways that artificial intelligence will impact healthcare in the future, such as, off you go. Give us the end of that statement. Do we have a timer on this one, Liz?
We do not have a timer, and I think we've got 3 examples. So let's see how many different ones we can get from you guys at home. Shall I read some out? We've got quicker diagnosis of conditions, speeding up wait times, improved diagnosis, assisting with research, robotic surgery. Oh, you guys are so quick. 3D printing of individual organs. So that's technology. I don't know whether it counts as artificial intelligence though. Improves diagnosis, quicker data management. Yep, definitely. Booking of appointments. Quicker imagery reading. Yep. Triage. Yes, you can use AI to triage people, definitely. Interpretation of CT scans. I think that's Lana that said that. That's a good one. Oh, good one, sorry.
Really good responses, isn't there?
Yeah. Aaliyah's talking about reducing errors because you're taking human factors out of the situation. Fadina has a nice one there. Saves time and human labour. Yeah. Someone's asking, what does triage mean? So triaging is something you do especially in accident and emergency. So it's finding out what is potentially wrong with that person and how serious it is and how quickly they need to be seen and by whom. So it's a way of determining where to put that person next. GP surgeries do a little bit of triaging to a certain extent. You know, when you ring up, they need to decide who do you need to see and how quickly. So that's part of the triage process. Have we got any other good answers there? I've missed loads, I think. Training AI to process imaging to diagnose patients at a faster rate. Yeah, really good.
Can we have a look what we've got?
Yep.
See if we can compare. Well, one of our such as answers could have been speeding up and improving diagnostic processes, which I think a lot of students have touched on there with their answers.
Yep, absolutely. Let's have a look at another. Oh, that's a different question. I was getting carried away then.
Okay, we'll move on to another question then. So, another such as there are many ways that regenerative. We've just done this one, haven't we?
No, we
We
did
have.
artificial intelligence.
Oh, sorry. There are many ways that regenerative medicine will impact healthcare in the future, such as, off you go.
Okay, so Xander has kicked us straight off by saying less donors needed. Yep, because we could potentially use not donor. Instead of using donor organs, we could use created or manufactured organs. Faster treatment, reducing the transplant list, quicker recovery time, less rejection. Yep, so we could reduce the number of organ rejections if we're using manufactured organs. Good Diamond says we could make specialised organs or tissues. Yeah, Kaylee says expensive. Yeah, it is expensive. It could, I suppose you could say that's a negative impact. It could increase our healthcare spending.
Good assessment, well done.
Loads of people saying, what is regenerative medicine? Charlotte, do you want to quickly explain that?
So and I'll explain it with an example. Aspects such as 3D printing, because we can actually use 3D printing for these different types of things now. And you've put me right on the spot because I can't remember anything else. Any other examples, Laura?
So we're thinking about regenerating cells, guys, and obviously in a bigger format would be regenerating organs. So if we want to manufacture them so that we've got a healthy cell or organ so that we can hopefully carry out a transplant, for example.
Yeah. And quite a lot to do with blood and tissue as well. So we can use tissue in different ways to support, so obviously, people rehabilitations and things like that now.
I like what April has said. There could be an ethical debate if embryonic stem cells are used. Yeah, so there are lots of ethical debates in healthcare and using regenerative medicine. It maybe in some ways it could reduce ethical issues because at the moment we might use donor organs from people that have passed away, and that can raise ethical issues. Sometimes we use things like heart valves that are manufactured from animals and animal products and tissues, and for some people that can be an ethical issue. So if we're purely manufacturing these from man-made things, that could reduce that ethical issue. Yeah, lots of really good answers. Let's have a look at ours.
So, our such as example was restoring function to damaged tissue and organs. So, an example there could be like Liz has just said, we could use something if we were giving somebody a bypass or using a stent, something like that. It could be something artificial that we use there, or regenerated from an animal, for example. Another example there.
Okay, let's go on to the next one. Over to you, Charlotte.
Oh, sorry. Again, another such as there are many ways that changes in life expectancy will impact healthcare in the future, such as give us some examples. We could think about positive impacts, negative impacts.
Okay, Jasmine says more pressures to treat more people. George is saying ageing population. Yeah, that's the kind of thing we're talking about. Carolina's saying pressure on funding. Aisha, more people need treatment. Oluwadamalola, increase in ageing population leading to dependence on working population. Really nice point from Isabel. Ageing population leads to more intense conditions. Yeah, so the longer years in later adulthood are usually spent with a poorer quality of life and maybe comorbidities or multiple morbidities. Loads of things about hospital beds, people becoming more ill.
Really good answers there. Well done, everyone.
Yeah, really great. Let's have a look at ours.
Let's see what we put. Increasing demand for elderly care services. So well done. A lot of people have touched on that one, and that demand then impacts the younger population as well. So really good points. Well done.
Claire says, are there any positives? That's a good
There
question.
are. There are, because it means that we've got longer time. People have got a longer life expectancy. They've got longer to be here with us. But it's from a health sector point of view. I see where you come from. Is there any positives? But from an actual individual point of view, there's a lot of benefits from that to having a longer life expectancy. We've got better generational prospects as well. If we've got that, we've got people involved in each other's lives for a lot longer.
Yep. Someone made a good point. Dexter said we could gain more knowledge on complex conditions. Yeah. And Isabel's saying the same thing. Yeah. So, if we're forced to work harder, then we are going to improve our knowledge. If we have people living a longer life, then we need to look at how can we make the quality of those longer lives better. So it could force us to, innovate and
improve our practices.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good, guys. Okay, let's have a look and see. Over to Laura for this one, please.
Okay, guys, so we've done one like this before, but this time I'm asking you to give me 4 consequences of poor scientific and clinical practice, and you've got 30 seconds to do that.
Loads of great answers, Laura. We've got things like termination of your contract, being struck off the professional register, harm to patients, harm to yourself or your colleagues. They're going so quick, it's really hard to see. Poorer outcomes, facing legal action, disciplinary action, patients don't trust the service, deregistration again, lawsuits, hospital acquired infections, great from Ryan there. Loads of things.
Cool. Let's look what we've got. Okay, guys, so patient harm. So poor scientific and clinical practice could lead to harm in the patient. It might be, for example, from infection due to unclean equipment. Treatment errors could happen, for example, acting on an erroneous result from incorrectly calibrating equipment. Financial loss from incorrectly stored products that become unusable, or loss of confidence in the organisation from patients due to dirty environments or broken equipment. Well done.
Yeah. So a couple of people have said bad reputation. So that all of that links to bad reputation, doesn't it? Fabulous. Okay, so now we're going to move on to looking at topics that are related to managing personal information and data. So that's your A5 and your A6. So Charlotte, if I hand over to you for the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep, so in a second you are going to have 5 different questions on the board, and you'll have 2 minutes to answer all 5. So each one has, so for example, you're going to give us 5 reasons why accuracy in written format, in written information and data is important, and then all the way down to then you're going to give us 1 legislation. So off you go. We'll give you 2 minutes, and while you do that, I'm just going to plug my laptop in, ladies.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's quite a lot of questions to answer here, guys. Just do your best. try and give us an indication of whether you're answering number 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5.
Yeah, so even if you can just answer one of them, or you can only give us 2 out of 5 reasons, just have a go.
Loads of amazing answers coming through. Ryan's mentioned SOPs himself and he said he didn't want to hear him ever again. He said it's drilled in. It is, indeed. Such good answers I'm seeing here.
5, 4,
That
Three.
went quick.
2,
It's not long, is it? 2
1.
minutes. I think, Charlotte, I'll just reveal the answers. You can talk through them because we've had so many, not got a chance of keeping up with them. Okay, so the first one.
Okay then, so 5 reasons why accuracy in written information and data is important. And we've got because it limits liability, compliance with law, provides an accurate account, provides an auditable trail, and ensures accurate analysis and action. So have a little bit of a look at your own answers and see what ours were. Have a little bit of a self-assessment there.
I think we had
And
a lot of those. Let's have a look at the next one.
So 4 ways to ensure confidentiality when using screens. To input or access information or data. So we've got log out when leaving unattended, protect login and passwords, using privacy screens, and being aware of surroundings, which I'm sure most of us will have gotten for that one as well.
I'm seeing a couple of questions. I will favourite them and we'll come to them in a sec. Let's go to the 3 ways next, the 3 somethings.
Yeah. So we've got advantages of using Three advantages of using IT systems to record, store, and access information and data. So we've got that it's easy access, we've got that it's easy to share and transfer information, and that the cost and it is space saving as well. So 2 disadvantages of using IT systems to record, store and access information and data. One could be security breaches, so that if somebody hacks into a system, we can or have a system, what's the word I'm looking for, Liz?
Crash.
Yeah. System failure, and that's where people's data can be given where it shouldn't be, basically.
And then the final one.
The last one then, the legislation or set of standards on information data management, and that is our Data Protection Act, GDPR of 2018, or our Caldecott principles.
Okay, so one of the questions was, Leah, what does an auditable trail mean? So that means that if everyone completes documents and records accurately, if you need to go back and check that something has been done, so an audit checks that things are done correctly, you can see a full trail of everyone doing the correct steps. Or it means that if there is a break in that trail, you can pinpoint where a system is failing or where a person isn't doing what they should. GDPR and Data Protection Act, yeah, they are essentially the same thing. So the general data protection regulations are like the UK government's enaction of the data protection. No, the Data Protection Act is the UK government's enaction of GDPR, which is a European legislation. Someone's saying, do we have to know the 8 Caldecott principles? I think it's a really good idea to know the principles as much as you can, but at the very least know the general gist of them. Yeah, Ryan saying one is European, one is UK. So yeah, GDPR is the European, data protection is the UK. George says, where would the ICO come in for data stuff? I think that's about if someone, so that's the Information Commissioners, is it Commission Office? That is if someone raises an issue or a problem with how their data is being kept or used, then they could report that to the Information Commissioner's Office. Someone said, how are we meant to know all the information from A1 to A12? Do you know what? You're never going to know every single last bit of it. We were discussing this before we started.
There isn't an A12.
That's
Stop
what Freya said as well. You're never going to know it all. So you just do your best and, you know, do what you can. Yeah. Izzy said she got scared then. Yeah. If you're not sure about the Caldecott principles, Google them. There's some great information about Caldecott principles online. Let's move on to the health and safety, get through as much of that as we can. So section C of your exam paper. So Laura, over to you.
Okay, guys, so similar activity to before, but we're looking at a different topic now. So this time we're matching everyone's favourite topic of legislation to its purpose. So in the chat, we just want the letter with the matching number with its purpose. So 60 seconds, off you go.
Okay, let's go, guys. Some people saying that this is the best bit. Maybe it's the most straightforward. Possibly not the most exciting. Okay, I think people know this. Laura, I'll reveal the answers so everyone can have a check of their own answer there.
Fabulous.
There was a question, Laura. Someone said, sorry, I can't remember who it was. Do we need to know the dates for these legislations? What's your best advice on that? Bearing in mind it's the night before.
Yeah, my best advice would be to have a go. Have a guess is better than not putting anything at all. But if you try and get the title right, if you try and state that it's an act or a piece of legislation, remember your capital letters, that also indicates that it's a piece of legislation. If you're doing all those things, then you're giving it your best go. Do not stay up tonight trying to memorize the years. It won't work.
Yeah, absolutely agree. If you know the dates, great, fantastic, but don't let not knowing them stop you from putting your answer. George says, do you get penalised for the wrong year? So, George, when exam papers are marked, they don't take marks away, they only give marks. So if you've got something that's worth a mark, they'll give you a mark. They don't take it away if you put something incorrect. They just ignore what's incorrect. Leah says, do you have to capitalise regulations in the same way you do for an act? Yes. If you look on the screen there, you've got manual handling operations regulations, control of substances, hazardous to health regulations. If you see those written down, they're all capitalised, okay? Let's quickly move on, try and get through as much as we can today, guys. Over to you, Charlotte.
Okay, so we've done this one before. You'll have 30 seconds on the clock to give us 4 procedures to maintain health and safety in a clinical setting. Off you go.
Okay, Kimberly's saying hand washing. Rex says wear PPE. Lots of people saying PPE. Aisha or Isha, hand washing, yeah. Tying your hair back, very good. Someone says regular hand washing using the 5 stages. Kimberly, cleaning and disinfecting. Okay. Should we have a look?
Let's have a look at our answers, yeah. So we could have correct hand washing technique because this will reduce the transmission of infection between staff and patients. We could have regular cleaning and disinfecting, which will reduce cross-contamination of equipment. Risk assessments of the physical environment ensure that we reduce harm from accident or injury, and safe waste disposals, which will reduce exposure to potentially harmful substances.
And as Alexia says, follow your SOPs. Sorry, Ryan, anytime anyone mentions the SOPs, I'm going to mention it now. Yeah, I mean, there's loads more that you could have. People are saying, what about this? What about that? Yep, loads and loads of things you could have.
We can't fit them all on the screen.
No. So final section of your exam paper is A8, 9 and 11. There is no A12, remember, guys. So it's all about person-centred care. Poor Laura's been plunged into darkness there.
I'm going to wave the light on then without you noticing.
Laura, do you want to do this one?
Yes, so new one now, guys. I'm going to read out a series of clues, and the clues are going to make it a little bit easier, but the idea is you try and guess it as soon as possible and see if you can get the correct answer before I finish. Okay? So first clue, individuals should be empowered to make their own decisions based on best possible information. So think about section D, think about some of the topics. Okay, what could I be talking about?
We've got empowerment, autonomy, mental capacity act, care act. Should we do another one?
Service users who are in greatest need of support and protection should be prioritised based on this.
We've got quite a few people saying 6 principles, care act. Should we have a look at the next one?
Actions taken to protect should be proportionate to the risk. I like that word. That's a good
I
indicator.
do. I think that's a good giveaway to the correct answer as well.
Working in partnership with a range of professionals, groups and communities to prevent, detect and report neglect or abuse.
Your final one.
And last one, healthcare and social care professionals need to be accountable for any activities in relation to safeguarding. So what is the answer?
Okay, I'm going to say Olu. I'm shortening your name. I hope that's okay. Olu has got the correct answer, I think. They said Principles of the Care Act 2014 and Safeguarding. Carolina, 6 Principles of Safeguarding and the Care Act. Let's have a look. Well done.
Well done.
Absolutely smashed it there. Charlotte, do you want to do this next one?
Yeah, can do. So our first clue is a focus on protecting the public, maintain public confidence, ensure care is safe, effective and compassionate, hold registers of approved providers or professionals. Anybody close yet, Liz?
We've got safeguarding, we've got health and safety, we've got Human Rights Act. Oh, someone has said, who is it? It's going too quick. Jasmine said professional bodies. I think that sounds quite good. Ryan says regulatory bodies. April says NMC CQC.
Okay, so our last clue then is can take action when organisational or professional standards are compromised, and that is our regulatory bodies within the health sector. So well done to all of you that gave us some examples of those.
Excellent work. Okay, I'm going really fast now. I'm trying to get through as much as we can, guys. I will do this one because Laura's had to leave us now. So first clue, when appropriate, decisions taken in an individual's best interests. So best interests, what does that tell you? Clue
I've got
2.
the top as well, Liz.
Support individuals to make decisions. Have we got any answers yet, Charlotte? Oh, I think we have.
So we've got some mental capacity. Some people talk about mental capacity.
Clue 3, assume individuals have capacity.
Mental Capacity Act 2005.
Yeah. Number 4, recognise that unwise decisions do not mean a lack of capacity.
5 principles of the Mental Capacity Act.
Someone's shouting there saying mental
I was
capacity
just about to say somebody's shouting at us in capitals.
Consider whether a decision can be made in a way that is less restrictive of an individual's freedom. Yes, guys, you are pretty much bang on the money there. So Mental Capacity
Well
Act
done.
2005, it was amended in 2019, but the core of the act was 2005. Excellent work.
Well done.
Okay. Over to you for this one, Charlotte.
Okay, I like this one. So we have got a piece of text that I will read through, and we have some missing words, and you have to mend the gap. So what we would like you to do is just add in the words that are missing. So let's have a go. So, when responding to a safeguarding concern, it is important to something with the individual while balancing confidentiality with assessing risk. So, what word do we think might be in there?
Blimey, April's already given us all the answers, I think, or tried to. Gemma says communicate. When responding to a safeguarding concern, it's important to communicate.
Yeah, I'll keep going. Any disclosures should be something, word for word, using appropriate forms such as a safeguarding disclosure form.
We have got recorded from Leah and Carolina. Someone else said, I've lost it now. Documented. Lots of people saying documented. Yep.
All fit, don't they? The correct something procedure must be followed so that professionals involved in next steps and investigation are fully informed.
We've got a variety of answers for this, which all sound plausible to me. So we've got reporting procedure, standardised procedure, organisational procedure, safeguarding procedure, information sharing procedure. They all sound good to me.
They do. If a suspected case of abuse is not investigated, the person reporting should understand next steps they might take, such as something. Additionally, preserving evidence is crucial and may include documentation of facts, observation charts, and something photography.
Okay, so we have got
Gracie's answers seem to be quite good.
oh, it's gone.
No, she's gone.
You're too quick for me, guys. Right, so Leah says clinical photography. I think that's
Yeah.
good. So someone there, I've already lost it, said whistleblowing, and there was also Nari saying escalation. Good Diamonds is saying about body map photography. That's quite a nice answer. I think that's plausible.
Yeah.
Shall we reveal them?
Shall we have a look at our answers?
I think
Yeah.
you've got them all, haven't you? So communicate, you guys definitely had that. Recorded, yep, you had that. Or documented, I agree with that one. Reporting procedure, yeah. But the other things you said were definitely on the money. Whistleblowing, and then forensic photography we've got. But yeah, you could have clinical photography or body mapping photography and so on. Excellent.
Amazing.
Okay, let's go on to this one then. Give us 4 ways that professionals can be person-centred. There's way more than 4. So just hit us up with as many as you can.
It's not too late to drop out, no.
George, I'm going to answer your question. Don't worry. I've favourited it. Okay, I can see active listening, listening to people, communicate effectively, holistic approach, empathy, preferences, patient autonomy, patient best interests, paying attention. Absolutely brilliant answers there, I think. Ask for consent. Excellent. I like that.
I'll go through the answers.
Okay, yep, go for it.
So, for ways to professionals ways that professionals can be person-centered. Sorry, it's been a long day today. I've been revising all day. So, provide factual information in a way that can be understood to inform decisions, ask for and then actively listen to individual preferences and wishes, utilise those 6 C's for safe, effective and patient-centred care, and use a holistic approach, recognising medical, psychological, emotional, social and spiritual needs.
Fantastic. I think we've covered all of that in your answers, guys. Brilliant. Well done. Okay, that brings us to the end of our kind of whistle-stop tour and exam warm-up. Just want to go through some final things. So first of all, George's question. George said, question on Public Health England. I was told it's gone and finished. Yes, it kind of went in COVID times actually. And it is now split into two. You've got the UK Health Security Agency, and then you've got the Office for Health Improvements and Disparities. Alfie said, when referring to an act with two dates, do we write both, the most up-to-date or the original? Alfie, if you know both of them, like we looked at the Mental Capacity Act, didn't we? If you know that that was passed in 2005 and amended in 2019, write both. But don't sweat it too much. Don't dwell on it. If you don't know, just move on and carry on. The fact that you know what the Mental Capacity Act is far more important than what year it was passed. So don't stress too much. Everyone's talking about now structures for 12 markers. I recommend you go back and watch our exam clinic video. I'll put a link to it in the comments for this video, but you should be able to find it on YouTube. We did talk about that.
We went through a lot of I think Angel's asking a question about predicting some questions. We can't predict the future. I wish that we could, but unfortunately. But if you do go on to our video from last week, we did discuss some sort of common themes that come up. I think Laura used the phrase golden thread, so those common aspects that come up. So have a look at that video. It answers most of these questions that we're getting asked now.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I'll link it in the comments, but you can find it if you Google it. So in terms of preparing yourself for tomorrow, guys, make sure you get plenty of sleep tonight. I would recommend that you do very little revision between now and bedtime. Maybe an hour, just to, maybe look at that exam clinic video. I'll put the link to the PowerPoint for this revision session in the comments as well. You could also look at that. But other than that, don't stay up cramming, because that's going to do you absolutely no favours whatsoever. So do something to switch off, whether that's watching TV, read a book, whatever. Eat some great food for tonight and for your breakfast. Make sure you drink plenty of fluids. If your teacher's running a prep session tomorrow, go to it. Most of all, adopt a positive mindset. And tomorrow night, we're doing this again at 6 p.m. for paper B. So come back, tell us how paper A went, and then, we'll do paper B. So thank you so much, Charlotte, for helping out today.
No worries. Well done, everybody, for joining, because if you were my students and you joined tonight, I'd be quite happy with you taking the rest of the night off if that was up to you, because you've joined, so well done.
Absolutely. And some really good answers, guys. You do know a lot of this stuff. Try not to panic too much. Have a good one tomorrow. Okay.
Good luck. Good luck.
Good luck, everyone. Bye.
Bye.